Hi everybody, and welcome to Prof. John's tutorial. For this tutorial we're going to learn how to format a document in Google Docs in MLA style. We want to be able to do that so that we can download that document to your computer as a Word doc, because everything in my course has to be uploaded as a Microsoft Word document. And so some of you don't have Microsoft Word on your computers, and so this is the best way to go. We don't really need Word anymore because Google Docs can do it all. Google Docs is this great word processor program, and it's free to everyone, absolutely free. So we are in Google Docs here, you can see. Now you can access it by Googling it, or you probably know where to go already because you've been using it. If you haven't used it before, you can go to Google and Google Docs, and it will take you there. You need to have our Google email, a Gmail account, in order to use that OneDrive so that you can actually save documents to a OneDrive. And then you can actually keep track of everything that you work on. As a college student, it's really fantastic. No limits on that. You'll never reach the limit, whatever it might be. Okay, so once we get here, we want to go to this up here where it says Template Gallery, because we're going to be able to use an MLA template in order to format this, and we're going to take it 10 steps ahead. We don't have to start this from scratch. I'm going to click on this, and it's going to open up all of these different templates that you have here. Wonderful different selection of templates. We're going to scroll all the way down here to this one that says report. And you notice that right after it, it says MLA right in there. That's the one we want because that's the only one that I've seen in here that's actually an MLA formatted document. So I'm going to click on that, and then it opens up the MLA formatted document. So what I want to do is I want to close this out so we can see the whole thing. And then you can see that basically this has your MLA formatted done really well. There's some little errors in here that we're going to fix. And if you pay attention to how this is done, by the time we finish with this, it's going to be absolutely perfect. Okay, so the first thing we need to fix is up here at the top, because MLA style requires that you have your last name plus the page number. Now, I don't know why they didn't put this here. Maybe they figured you'd know how to do this. But in order to edit this area up here, I'm going to have to double click in this area. So I'm going to double click, and it opens it up. And so I'm going to put a space here next to the 1 because I do not want to have my last name butted up against that. So then I'm going to click over here, and it's going to create that space for me. Then I'm going to put my last name in there. Or I'm going to put your last name in there. I'm pretending you're Amber Nightingale. Love it. Amber Nightingale. So now, in order to get out of there, we want to make sure that we don't touch that 1. No, 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 don't touch it. Because if you touch it, then you're going to get rid of the page insert. If you type a 1 back in there, you're going to have all page 1s. So we're going to click down here in the regular place. And if you do 1 click, it's going to take you back down here so that you can edit the bottom part. So now we want to change this up so it reflects who you are. And we know already what your name is. You know who I am. I'm Prof. John. And the subject name is English 1A or English 5. And we can leave this formatting for the date. It doesn't matter to me if you put the number here and the month in the middle or the reverse. So the problem that we have that we need to fix is that we've got more space between the date and the title. We got more space between here and here. We want to have this all be beautifully double spaced all the way down here, all the way through the whole thing. As we're taking a look at this, you might notice that you've got everything straight here on the left, and on the right it goes in and out. It's not straight on the right. That's called a line left, and that's how you want your essay to be. Otherwise, you're not going to tell where your paragraphs are. It's going to be really messed up. If you press return here and then create your essay from there, everything's going to be centered. We don't want that. So I'm going to put my insertion point here, and I'm going to press delete to take it over to the left. And I'm going to press delete again. It's going to take it up to the date area. To get that nice double space in there, I'm going to press return. It's going to take it down a beautiful double space. See how it's less than it was before. Now I want this to be centered, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to go up here to the center, a little icon up here that says center align. And so when I click on this, boom, it shoots over to the right. So now we've got that nicely set up. We can see that everything is great, double space, double space, double space, double space. Everything is really nicely double spaced. Now the next thing we're going to fix is we got this section header. We're not going to have section headers. So we could get rid of that, and then we could put our insertion point here, and we can pretend like we've got a new paragraph here. Of course, these paragraphs aren't developed. We don't want short little paragraphs like this. But if we press the Tab key, now we're going to have a new paragraph. So anytime you want a new paragraph, you have to press the Tab key. Don't put 5 spaces. It's not going to be right. The spacing won't be right. So your first paragraph is indented. All the other paragraphs are indented as well. So we're going to get rid of this subject heading. We don't want that. And we're going to move this over. Oh, no subject headings. But now we've got extra space between these two. So we're going to press delete again to go up here and return. Now you can see that we've gotten a nice double space here. We've gotten rid of that little problem where we had extra space between the paragraphs, which we do not want. So the next thing I want us to fix up is this beautiful block quote here. You guys are going to have block quotes. Anything over 3 lines of text or 4 lines of text is going to be a block quote in terms of a quotation. So what we want to do is we want to format this the way I want it to be formatted. So we're going to go up here to the top because we want it to be space and a half instead of double space. So up here, that's insert image. Sometimes I have a hard time finding this. Line spacing, this is the one. Line spacing, so if we click on that, if I click on space and a half, boom, it shoots up. Very good. So far, so good. So the next thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this is indented on the right-hand side about an inch to the right. It doesn't have to be exact. So we don't want to go up here where it says a left arrow, but if we grab this triangle and drag it over about an inch in, then it's going to be perfect. That's exactly the way I want your block quotes to look. Got it? So if you put a block quote up here at the top under your title as an introductory block quote as your hook, this is how it should be formatted. And you can drag the right side in. See how the right side is dragged in? You can drag it in just like that. Works like a charm. So one thing I want to point out is that you never have a block quote at the end of a paragraph. So just for your own information, I'm going to get rid of that because you always have to comment on a block quote. You never leave it at the end of a paragraph. So we've got it set up pretty nicely here. You can see when we go to the second page, we got Nightingale 2. So we do have the page insert there. We've got all the different pages. So I'm going to just delete all of this. I'm going to delete all of this because we've got a works cited page for you. I've got that as a download from my module so that you don't have to figure out how to format the works cited page. So now we need to, we're going to pretend that you've written this whole essay, that you've proofread it, you've revised it, you've read it out loud to yourself so that you can catch any mistakes that you've made, you've applied any checklists that I've given to you so you know that it's exactly what I'm expecting. You need to give it now a title. So we're going to go up here to the report and we're going to rename it. We're going to name it essay number 1. Essay number 1. And so now if I press return, that's going to be the new title. That's going to go in your OneDrive, and now you're going to have essay number 1. If you want to open this, you could call this MLA Template if you wanted. And then every time you go in to use something, go into MLA Template, create a copy of it, and then you never have to reinvent this. You don't have to do this over and over again every time you go in and go into the regular template that they have here. Next thing we want to do is we want to download this as a Word document so that we can upload it to your web page, to your Canvas shell, because the only thing you can upload for one of assignments in my courses is a Word doc. So we're going to go to File, click on it, then we're going to go to Download, and then you can see that you can download it as a Microsoft Word document. Boom, it downloads to your folder. This is behind where I'm talking, so you can't really see it. So I'm going to drag it out of there to my desktop so that then you can see it. Essay number 1. It's got the right title on it. So what we want to do then is we want to find that and we want to upload it to your website. So I'm going to the Canvas shell. So I'm going to go here to where it says turn in essay number 1 rough draft. Now I always put a big capital turn in. I've already resubmitted something. I submitted something the first time, so it just says resubmit. If you do something again, you can always resubmit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to go down here to the dialog box here at the bottom. It's going to allow me to select this file, or choose file as they call it. I'm going to choose the file on my desktop. It's going straight to the desktop. You can see here, essay number 1. I'm going to select it. Click here, open, 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 open. And you can see right here it says essay number 1. That means that it's been selected. If it doesn't appear there, something happened, you didn't get it. So if I click now submit assignment, I'm going to get this wonderful little feature where we're going to get confetti coming down. Last time I did it, there were actually butterflies coming down too. So I love this about Canvas. It's got all these cute little features. So here we go. Let's see what it comes up with this time. Oh, stars. Oh, I missed the butterflies. Anyway, so that's what you do in order to submit an assignment. You've learned how to format it in Google Docs with an MLA template. You've learned how to fix that template so that it reflects the way it should look, and you've learned how to download it as a Word doc, and you've learned how to upload it. So thanks a lot for sticking with me. Hopefully you'll watch some of my other tutorials, and that's it. Adios.